Welcome back out here to this lodge project where we're first time ever working off of a generator. That's how new this community is. There's no infrastructure yet, so every place where we're working has a generator. If you guys remember, some bad memories out here. I just started here like 2 weeks ago, and first day setting the first door, bam, stepped on a nail. And a lot of people asking how my foot is. It feels like it didn't even happen, which I'm shocked, because if you saw that video, you saw that giant hole in my foot and the blood and everything. We're not gonna show it here, but thankfully it healed up. We're back out here. We're kind of doing some punch list stuff. We're set up right here because we're doing the last couple pocket doors. I'll show you what we're getting into. Real quick, guys, want to remind you, squaredapparel.com, my brand. You can get all your awesome architectural wear. The Analema caps sold out. Appreciate you guys, and everyone that just bought one got a free everlasting pencil and a free sticker in this little gift bag. So appreciate you. That deal unfortunately is over. We'll restock those soon, but we also got these DeWALT hats with the clean embroidery on them. We've got all kinds of awesome stuff over there. Go check it out. This video is brought to you by Squared Apparel. The doors themselves are actually pretty cool. I like the design. They've got this shaker look with the stiles and rails, just a square edge. And then the panel itself is this kind of V-groove that was probably CNC'd. It's a piece of MDF. You guys know I'm not a huge fan of MDF, although that's all I used to use, so I'm very familiar with it. But we've got to take this. First thing we got to do, we'll get our hardware in the track. We're using this Johnson 1060 soft close hanger. This is like kind of a mid-tier. The commercial grade Johnson is a little bit better, but this is good. These doors aren't that heavy. They're actually pretty light, and this will be just fine. And on some of this soft close stuff, you know, it could either be soft close or soft open. I forget how wide it has to be. This one might be a little too short to do both, but we'll try it and see. But first step, we got to get up there, get this in, and then measure to our finished floor. These pockets, honestly, like this flimsiness of it, I'm not the biggest fan. And even like some of the builders who use this stuff, they're not even the biggest fan of it. But it's kind of what's available. But once you get, you know, drywall on this, once you get your trim and other things on, it kind of locks it in. We will go ahead and get our level checked on our track. Just gonna get a level up in here. Yeah, I can live with that. That's like really good, actually. And when it's within reason like that, you can take your hardware and, you know, it's adjustable. So when you actually get the door in there, you can kind of wrench down and do this with your door, kind of tilt it and get it just perfect. As long as it's not crazy out, we're good to go. Take our hardware out of the box. So this grabs onto the hanger. That's the little latch, it opens up, and this screws to the top of the door. So for this hardware, you've got this that actually holds the door, and then that's where you can grab that wrench right there around that bolt and either thread it up or down to adjust it for your needs. One of the things they mention on their instructions is this has to be down in this position. This is like a little plunger or an actuating arm. See how it slides? That's the actual soft close mechanism. And that is done by this piece right here. This is the part that grabs that. So they say in the instructions, this needs to be in this position so that that can grab like that. See how that engaged it? And then it hits this stop right here. So that locks in right there. So you're looking at this, the door is attached right here. It's on its hanger. And remember, this piece bends, which is great because we can then take this, put it up in here, get our roller up in position. So imagine now your door is screwed to that. I leave it in the position that it comes from the factory because they're all at that same thread. We've checked them. And then what we'll do is we'll measure from our floor up to that point. So right to the edge of that. And I'm getting 84 and a half. So what we like to do is we want a 5/8, half inch to 5/8 gap when the final floor is in. Obviously this is not the final floor. We're at a subfloor. Now we were told it's all gonna be 3/4 up here. So we're gonna add 3/4 and a half or 5/8 if you want a little bit more airflow over there. So 3/4 plus a half, 1.25 inches, or if you wanna bump it up to 1 3/8. All right, so somebody did some math right because I wanted to be at 84 1/4 and this door's already 84 1/8, so I don't even have to cut it. Brought the Trex all out for nothing. 84 1/8, we're still gonna have a 5/8 gap at the bottom, which is what I said, we're within what we like to be. All I have to do now is take off these little shipping pieces that they nailed to the bottom to protect the door. And it's important that we take these nails out because we are going to have to route and put a groove in here for our track. So I do not want to hit that with my blade. Funny, I got these smooth jaw channel locks on accident. I ordered them. They showed up as smooth and I'm like, what in the world? But now I have them. So the guide that we use at the floor, you have different options. You can use like these plastic clips that go there and they keep the door centered, because when the door's hanging on that track, if it doesn't have a guide at the bottom, it can just sway back and forth. Like you have to have a guide at the bottom. The guides that we use, I don't have them here to show you guys. I'll put it on the screen. They look like this and they are the best guides. I like them. You just route a groove in the center of your door at the bottom and it just glides right into that, keeps it centered. You don't see any plastic clips hanging off to the side, and it's my favorite one. So in order to use those, you have to put a groove there at the bottom of the door that's right in the center. You can use just a groove cutting bit on a router, or you can use this. We got creative one day because we forgot our router, and we use this biscuit joiner. You can take this, it already has the 90, it already has a blade moving, so it plunges in, right, and cuts, and then you just glide it across. It's literally that easy. So you just put it here, engage it, as long as you're 90 right here, glide it across. With our groove routed in, we'll spin it around and then we can put our attachment up here for the hanger. I'm gonna check real quick if I can use these, both of them, because the way that, see, these arms are really long, but if they don't allow for both of them to be in here, then we have to choose if we want soft close or soft open. And it looks like we're good. The smaller the width of the door is, the closer these are gonna get to each other, and you're not gonna be able to use both. You'll have to either choose soft open or soft close. You can't have both. This is that soft close mechanism that's gonna grab the little arm there, the piston. And this, what we've noticed, it needs to be like this. It needs to be kind of level with this hanger piece. Now this, sometimes we've noticed there's a lot of tension on it, I guess from the factory. Pull that back over. And it's like this. See how tilted up? I'm kind of exaggerating there, but we've noticed it kind of has a natural like tension upwards. So we've had to take a screwdriver and bend this thing down so it allows itself to actually catch and grab that little plastic clip. We've got to put these in and we got to get them adjusted. Especially the one that goes into the pocket is very important, because once the drywall goes over all this, we are not getting to that one again. This one out here, we can always adjust. For our first little soft close arm, we're gonna put it back here. You gotta get this one set perfect, otherwise you're never getting in here again without doing some damage to the drywall. And I'm just gonna cinch this down. You see I can move it. I'm just gonna get it right there because I don't know where it needs to be yet, but I do want it to be tight in there so that when the door slides over, it doesn't, knock it off. Get these in next, and remember what I was saying earlier. See the difference in these now side by side? You want them like this, you don't want them like that when you put them up in there. So we got to pull this back over and have them like that. When you put them up in there, you've got them to the outside. So hangers go to the outside like that. And I can get this one up in there. Like that. And then this one will go like this. I like to kind of get it in the pocket a little bit, like this. I like to use a pry bar to move my little roller around. Yeah, I just gotta line these up. Probably gonna be really difficult to see because I can barely even see it buried up in there. So you hear that engage? Got one on, then I can lock that in place. All right, that one is good too, and I am happy with that. So we're dead plumb here. Happy with our gap down there. We're coming up 3/4, so we'll have our 5/8. We're not catching our soft close, like I was telling you guys. So now I'll take my other soft close arm. This is the final piece to this, and these I know go right at the end here. So I'll tighten that up, and let's see if this one actually grabs. No, they're not grabbing. All right, just a little bit, not too much. Like that, let's start with that. Still nothing, come on. A little bit more. And you see the difference. Bam, and we're good here. We have enough to shim out. Here, we also want to have at least an inch here, which we do, but just the difference from what you saw earlier to having that adjusted now. Super soft. And I'll do that same thing up in here. You don't want to bend it too much. We've done that too, and it's also not good. Let's see what we got here. Yes, we got it. So this is where remember we did that groove in the bottom of the door earlier with the biscuit joiner. See how much play is in that? Once they put the finished floor in, we'll come back and we'll put that little, that piece of hardware in, and that'll keep it centered. So we'll take all that sway out of there, and the way we'll do that, and I'll probably actually show you guys this, we are gonna be filming more here. We are probably gonna be trimming out this whole thing, which was unknown in the last time when I stepped on that nail. I wasn't sure what all we were doing, but I think we're doing it all. And there's some really cool detail here. But once we get this in, we'll get it right in the center. We'll screw that guide down, and that guide needs to be positioned to where it never loses contact with the door. So it's got to be like right in the center, because you don't want it to come out here, lose contact, and then fall out. So there's a little sweet spot where you need to put it. All right, so there you have it. Little pocket door action today. We've got one more to do, and then we're going to our Windsor lab, where we're gonna be trimming out that mock-up space, and then once they're ready for us here and at other jobs, we'll keep you guys updated. But next week, we're going to Windsor Mill, actually, up in Northern California, and we're gonna show you guys, I'm so excited about this, how they take a log, like a literal log from a tree, and turn it in to the TNG, the header caps, all the Greek revival stuff that you guys see me use, from a log to that, the whole process. We're going there Monday. So look out for that video next week. But that's gonna wrap it up for us here. Hope you guys learned something about pocket doors. But other than that, catch you next time.